Hey everyone, today we'll be doing another Leetcode problem to 724. Find pivot index. This is an easy one given an array of nums. Calculate the pivot index of this array. The pivot index of this array is where the sum of all the numbers strictly left of the index equal to the sum of all the numbers at the very right. And if the index is on the left edge of the array, then the sum is going to be 0 to the left. The left sum is going to be 0 because there are no elements on the left. This also applies to the right. Return the leftmost pivot index. If no such, then return minus 1. So we have an array like this in which we are going to return the pivot index. So pivot index at this point is going to be this 6 because the sum at the very left of the index is this is going to be returning 11 and this is going to be returning 11, not including the pivot itself. So what we can do is just make a left sum variable and a right sum variable. So the left sum, obviously starting from the very first, they said like it is 0, and we are not going to include the pivot in our index the index itself, which we are considering a pivot and not in our sum. So one will not be added in neither of the right or left. So right will be just the sum of the whole array, but minus 1 because we are at 0 index and 1 is at the 0 index. 28 is going to be the sum of this whole list, and if we minus 1 we are getting 27. Then we are at, this is our pivot, and now we will just move our pivot and add, but before moving our pivot we are going to add that add the first index to the left one, you can say. And now when we go in the next iteration, we will remove it from the right one. So we will check left and right are not equal to 0. We will move our pointer to, or our pivot to the next, and then 7 is going to be added here, so it will be like 8. And now 3 will be decremented from here, and the pivot will move to 6, and 3 will be it was decremented from here and it will be incremented here, so it will become like 11. And now 6 is going to be decremented from here because we are at 6, we are not going to include 6, and we are at 11 and 11. So at this point, at this 6, we are going to have 11 11, left sum is equal to the right one, so we are going to return 3 in that case because the index of 6 was 3. Okay, so left is equal to 0 and the right is equal to the sum of nums. Okay, so for index and element in enumerate in nums. Okay, so first of all we have to decrement our right with the element. Okay, now if the right is equal to left, we are going to return the index. Okay, and after that we can just decrement, or not decrement, just increment our left by the element, and that's it. If we are going to find it, then we are going to return the index, otherwise we are going to return minus 1. So that was it. That's it. If you have any kind of questions, you can ask them in the comments.